Before we get into that, we do want to mention real quick that as of September the 26th, so roughly about a week after this airs, or a week before this airs, the second bestiary, the Plague Bestiary, and books 3 and 4 in Shammy's Frith Chronicles will be released for Kickstarter. So she's not, obviously, book's not going out yet. However, it is going open to join in the Kickstarter to get your copy reserved. So just keep that in mind. We are so excited. I know we barely have even gotten the first bestiary out, but you know what? This is amazing. I know she's saying that she's going to focus a lot on the plague-ridden bestiary sections. So not just the information of the actual Eldrin, but their plague forms, their dread forms. So we'll get a lot more information, and we're so excited. All right, and with that, we are going to go into our bestiary section. We have a couple of creatures that we're going to go over today. We're going to start with the Magma Salamanders. These are wingless dragons with the face of an iguana. The mythology kind of fire, they're known for their fire endurance, and the salamander is said to be able to withstand fire and extinguish it. In the ancient Greeks, including Aristotle and Theophrastus, they describe the salamander as having the mastery over fire as early as the 4th century BCE. There's a lot of other connections to magma salamanders. There's ones that can like basically do the opposite as like an ice salamander to extinguish the flames. If you've ever played the horribly god-awful graphics of, I think, the second Harry Potter video game, we don't really know anything about their trial of worth. We don't know that they're a tier 3 mystical creature. However, based off of other creatures that are in the tier, I would guess fairly reasonably so that they're tier 3. Don't really know anything about their reproduction. Probably has something to do with being in a volcano at some point. Maybe they're hatching eggs in a volcano. Probably somewhere along those lines. They are able to evoke magma. I would have a reasonable guess to say that they're able to manipulate fire along with augment others to be immune to fire, as that is their passive ability, is immunity to fire. And as far as aura, true form appearance, or true form ability, that's really all we know about it. So again, with the Magma Salamander, we can make a lot of inferences, but we don't quite know too much about them. Maybe in the Plague Bestiary, we might see some more.
There are a few plague-ridden ones, so...
Yes, there are.
The other mystical creature we're going to cover today is the Rizzle. Do a little bit of updated based on some of the new information. So they're described as being a white ferret-like creature with silver stripes and blue eyes. They do become larger as they grow. They get to be about the size of an adult weasel, but they never really lose their agility, which is good because they are commonly hunted for their pelts, which are used to attract other mystical creatures. The mythology, so the Rizzle is actually one of 3 creatures that was created specifically for the series. Shammy said that she loved teleportation, but there aren't many myths that involve teleporting creatures, so the Rizzle was created to kind of fill that role. They're designed to be cute and lovable, but also very tricksy and filled with magic that's very rare to find. Their trial of worth is to recount a tale of cleverness that satisfies the Rizzle. They are tier 2, and they do reproduce through progeny, so they create dens in places that are extremely safe, most of the time in some sort of preserve. They only reproduce after drinking the juice of glintberries, which must be good glintberries.
Want to know more about glintberries now.
Their evocation, they do evoke disintegration flames, so it's a burst of white flame that disintegrates instead of actually setting on fire, teleports tiny pieces around and for any matter that it comes into contact with. They are able to manipulate gravity, so they can either increase it or lessen it. Can't quite do it to, squish somebody in place by changing the gravity or make things completely weightlessness, but they can allow things to float around, as we saw in Colosseum Arcanist. Their augmentation is teleportation, so either on themselves or others, they're able to teleport, and the more powerful the Arcanist, the farther teleportation and the more objects they can take with them. For passive abilities, they don't get motion sickness. They have incredible balance and smell good to other mystical creatures, and just generally have a good sense of sarcasm.
Can confirm.
For their aura, they do create the Nexus aura. So when a Rizzle Arcanist creates an aura, things begin to shimmer. Random objects just sort of pop in and out of existence. And the type of object is linked to something the Arcanist could be looking for, but you may get something from the future. You may get something from the past. So it's not always quite as useful.
It could be a blender.
It could be a blender. You never know. You might hatch a blender. Their true form is Gaius-driven, so the Arcanist must cleverly defeat and kill a rock in order for their Eldrin to transform. And when they do transform, they develop a longer body, large enough for a human adult to ride on, with catfish-style whiskers, antlers like a stag, and a big fluffy tail. And they shimmer whenever they move. So they sound like this very chimera weasel.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I want a picture of one.
Oh my gosh.
They sound so cool.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Their true form ability is flight. So a true form Rizzle as well as their Arcanist can fly through the air without the need for wind or wings. And their speed is based on their capacity to either run or walk. So aren't going super fast, but you don't need to be on ground, which is pretty cool.
But then they get cat style, like whiskers, antlers, and a fluffy tail, and you can ride on it.
I know. It's the most majestic unicorn.
Oh my goodness, that's so amazing. I kind of want to Rizzle now. I will have to say, that's kind of, I don't want to say BS that they have to kill a rock in order to achieve true form, because that's a pretty tall order here.
It is, but they're clever creatures, so, you know, it's not that you have to necessarily like fight it one-on-one and a battle to the death. So you can use some sneak attacks or some other secret moves.
Right, and I imagine with the teleportation around, it could be done. I just that is a very
tall order.
Yes, it is. All right, we do want to thank everybody for listening today, and just a quick reminder as far as the bestiary for the Plague Bestiary, books 3 and 4 of Shammy Stovall's Frith Chronicles, that is going live to order or to get involved in with the Kickstarter. So don't forget about that. We'll make sure we do get the link down in the description for you guys to get over to that. And as far as any more information goes, I know we have Labyrinth Arcanist is coming out here soon. For those that have been are in the Astro Academy series, I know she said she's working with Ryan Tang about the next and final book in the Crown Tournament series. She's got a book called 6 Words. I think she said she's going to change the title of, but currently that's the one that we have right now. And I think that's about everything.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you could email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube. Scott, do you have anything else you want to add this week?
Second Time Warp Warlock coming in like a month or two as well, so...
Oh my gosh, yes. November. Oh my goodness. So many books.
I don't understand. Like, does she write 23 hours a day? It makes no sense to me.
Well, we love that she does. If she does, hopefully she's taking time for herself. But with that, I think we'll catch you guys next week.